They know that illegal aliens have broken the law, and the Department of Homeland Security is enforcing the law, among many other laws, to keep America safe.
That's what was discussed today at the first meeting for the new Homeland Security Advisory Council, which our next guest was appointed to by President Trump and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. Florida State Senator and Vice Chair of this council, Joe Gruters, joins us now. Senator, great to see you. Tell us what was discussed. What's afoot?
Well, thanks so much for having me on. And a lot was discussed because obviously the Homeland Security Agency is massive. And I just am so grateful that the president allowed me to serve on this committee and put me on as vice chair underneath the South Carolina Governor McMaster. But listen, Secretary Noem knows exactly what she's tasked with, and that's the keeping in the president's mission of keeping America safe. And we're doing that. We're closing the borders. We're deporting criminal illegals. And of course, we're trying to stop fentanyl and other drugs from crossing the border. But listen, we have a broad base of experience in this broad coalition of people. Really, we got the America's Mayor, Rudy Giuliani, I saw today. A lot of great minds coming together, making sure we could assist in any way the president and Secretary Noem in keeping America safe.
So what's it going to take to up the number of deportations? Because I think that's in part been the bottleneck. There are millions of people here illegally, but it is tough to actually get them deported back to either their home country or some other place like El Salvador.
Yeah, Jason, great question. But all you got to do is look at Florida. And you look at what we need is cooperation between the federal government and the state governments. And Ron DeSantis, our governor, who I'm a member of the Florida Senate there, he's leading the way. We have a great team. They set up Alligator Alcatraz. I went to the grand opening with the president yesterday and Secretary Noem. And that can house 3,000 people at a time. Florida's going to open up a second location at Camp Blanding. That's going to be able to host 2,000 people. And that's what you need. And hopefully what Florida will be showing to the rest of the country and the rest of the governors, and what our governor Ron DeSantis is doing, is leading the way. We need more states to say it's time to open up some more of these facilities. And in Florida, we attacked immediately right when the president was elected. We passed a bill in conjunction and coordination with the White House and Stephen Miller and the whole team over there. And it was all about beds, bad guys, and badges. And primarily exactly what you said, the beds is a big issue.
And just looking at these numbers, so there were 6,070 border crossings, or encounters rather, in June. Zero, no catch and release, zero released into the U.S. If you compared that number to June of 2022, when there were over almost 208,000, that's a decline of 97%. So that is law enforcement. That, as president, is enforcing the laws of this nation, which for 4 years we didn't have. However, to make sure those who are here illegally, all of the gotaways, the millions upon millions, those who were caught and released, which states, not the big blue states, but say Republican states, are not as cooperative with DHS as they should be?
Yeah, another good question. But let me say this real quick. People have been talking about closing the border for 50 years, and President Trump is delivering on the mandate that the people gave him in November, and he's closed it. Those stats is eye-opening, and he could take a lot of credit, and Secretary Noem could take credit, but there's a lot of Republican states, and that's what he needs. That's why Ron DeSantis and what Florida is doing is so important. People need to lead the way, and they need to show that exactly what can happen when you have cooperation between the state and federal government. Florida is doing an amazing job, and we just need to have certainly the red states follow our lead, but hopefully some of the blue states could follow our lead as well.
Maybe.
Joseph Gruters, thank you so much. From the